What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Daily Refinement. My name is Chris. I earn a full-time living selling stuff online, physical products. Today I want to go over this guy I met at my unit who sells junk. So you can see these junk trucks bill about $2,000 a day, and he has 7 trucks. So this guy does $14,000 a day in revenue. The stuff that he's picking up, he charges people to pick up. So I'm actually doing business in a storage facility that has about 900 units, and this guy has at least 20 of them. And what he's doing is he's actually using them to sort. He doesn't do any reselling himself. What he does is he breaks it up and sells it to different resellers. They're full of, like, one of these is full of water heaters and that type of equipment, like stuff that's household appliances, like washer and dryer. There's ones that are full of cardboard boxes. I actually don't know what that is for. I don't know why or how you could earn enough money to justify paying $2 a square foot to store cardboard boxes. They must be some type of special corrugated material. Otherwise, why would he be storing it in one of these units? So appliances are big, cardboard, a lot of metal scrapping. So there must be a lot of business that's involved with that, because not only is he building $2,000 away a day per truck to haul stuff away, he's also earning money getting rid of it. So very, very cool. These units are roughly $2 per square foot. So I have 600 square feet. You guys should put in the comment section below how much storage facilities cost in your area. I'd be very curious. So before you talk about how easy it is to operate in California because of how much good stuff is here, think about that quality of living. It's super expensive. We also have full 24-hour surveillance, and then also a person that's here all day. So this is my storage manager actually walking down and checking the units manually. She does that every single day, every few hours, which makes me feel a lot safer as a business owner here, because there's a lot of valuable stuff in everybody's unit. Also in here, I would say that a good chunk of the people who operate here are in HVAC. They're plumbers, they're contractors, tons and tons of lawn care professionals here. And they basically use this to store their equipment. So they're coming in and out. All of the units here are drive-up units, which makes it easy and definitely targeted more towards a business customer. They also have RV storage, which is pretty common. A lot of people do that. There's also people who store their sports cars here. That's more common as you go down. You have people that are storing really fancy cars, but they are covered. You can actually fit a nice car in one of these units, but you have to pay extra because cars leak oil, and that's not something the storage facility wants to deal with necessarily. Also, if they catch you with a pet, they will immediately kick you out. So it's definitely designed for commercial purposes, and they don't want to deal with people's pets and stuff like that. So I appreciate you guys taking a look with me, but I want to go over something very important, which is instructions. I just posted the macro system for Mac, and I'll be launching the PC one soon. It won't take too long for me to won't take me too long to make the PC version. And the reason is because I already have the instructions. You need really, really quality instructions in order to outsource yourself. If you have really clean instructions, a stranger could walk into your business and immediately know what to do. And that's super important, because if you want to really scale, you need to use somebody else's help. And it's just very difficult to do this all by yourself. And I just want to also share and reiterate that most people can only really work for about 4 hours a day doing creative work. So you can see it's very unrealistic for you to expect somebody else who is just a random employee to work harder than you do for basically minimum wage is what most people are trying to pay their people. Makes it so it's very difficult to scale. And when you have that type of expectation with that little of a pay, you're going to have super, super high turnover. So in this type of facility, everyone here is a professional. I would say I never see the actual owners of the businesses of the people that are here. They have outsourced it. The people that are coming here are workers. They're coming here to pick up a lawnmower and a edge trimmer and putting back different equipment. The owner I haven't seen, which means the people who are running these types of organizations must be larger. They must have fleets. There are multiple plumbers here that have more than one truck, and I think that's a very common occupation also that utilizes these drive-up facilities. A couple more thoughts for you guys with this, which is I saw this comparison that Graham Stephan did with a plumber versus a doctor, and how, you know, if a plumber gets started at age 18, just consistently works and saves half of his money, versus a doctor being $280,000 in student loan debt. At age 42, they have the same net worth. But then after that, the doctor starts to outpace the plumber because the income can go, you know, closer to 300,000, and maybe the plumber is still earning 100K per year, which is what plumbers usually make in this area. I don't know where you live; it might be a little bit different, but here they bill at least $50 an hour, probably more like 75 to 125 an hour. But then obviously there's some travel between the different appointments. But that being said, it's very interesting. The trade crafts, I feel like, are going to make a big comeback because people would rather do plumbing than be broke. You know, there's so many jobs out there that are you know, that you can bill $2,000 a day per person, and then that is enough room to create a business. You have to make some margin. So I see a lot of people complaining about profit, like there's people selling courses, there's people doing this. Look, without margin, you can't create a sustainable business. Like, this person is charging between $150 and $2,000 to haul your junk away. Then they resell your junk for profit. That's an incredible business model. So I'm not hating on this guy. Definitely respect the hustle. That's cool. Imagine being a reseller and the stuff you get, you actually get paid to take. That is cool. But then you have to have the expertise, and you have to have 20 different headaches, because all these units, I would say 20 units here, probably costs around $10,000 a month in rent. So this guy is paying $10,000 a month for rent here, and I know why he uses this, because the actual parking spots at this unit are very cheap. So when you are looking for commercial real estate, they also have yards where you can park vehicles. That's really, really expensive in the Bay Area. I'm not sure why, probably just because everything's expensive here. But the yard cost here is very minimal. In fact, especially if you have an existing unit, they're not charging these guys very much to park their trucks back here. Also, the cost of the surveillance is interesting, because I was talking to the owner. Of this unit, they may actually build higher. So you guys can see this is only a 1-unit storage facility, but they might actually build some stuff on top and offer a more residential experience, because really this is a more commercial one. More businesses use these because they are, you know, 300 square feet and above. So they're larger units. Also, this complex is not near anything, so it's kind of like forced James, my worker, and I to stop eating out as much. We prepare meals, we've been healthier, so it's kind of interesting. You know, this is so out of the way from the main city that there's not an opportunity to eat out. So unintentionally, we are being a little bit more healthy just working out here. I am not allowed to use the power here, because, you know, it does come with a light, and some people will rig the light to be an outlet, but that's not allowed here. I have to use my own external power. So I use a Yeti 400. That's in my list of supplies in the description below if you guys want to check out the power source that I use. And I basically use that to power my lights. Now, the lady told me I cannot have any fumes and I can't make any noise. Okay, so there are ordinances for different storage areas. There are other units you can't work at all. There are other units that charge slightly more and have outlets and the ability to install commercial internet. So again, every single unit is different. There is no one-size-fits-all solution. You have to work out with what you do. I am super psyched because none of my inventory is at home. And I can just tell you that is such a peace of mind going home and not having to worry about it at all. Also, I have 24-hour security here versus at my place. It's just me with a gun and a baseball bat, right? It's definitely totally different than here. But that being said, I also have commercial insurance. So commercial insurance is not very expensive. For $250 to $1 million in coverage, it's probably going to cost you $50 a month. It's not very expensive. I need to figure out a affiliate with that company. But again, respect the hustle. Look around you to see if there are different opportunities. I can't believe these trucks are billing $2,000 a day, but it doesn't surprise me because when I moved out of my place, I paid $400 to basically haul out all this restaurant equipment. The person I was renting from bought a restaurant and closed the restaurant to convert it into 2 condos. I don't know how he was able to pull that off, but he basically turned a commercial piece of real estate into residential. So all of that restaurant stuff was in my garage, and I had to pay $400 to have one of these guys come get rid of it. And I'm sure not only did they charge me $400, I'm sure they sold that equipment for a little bit of cash on the side as well. So hope everybody is enjoying this journey. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know how much storage in your area costs per square foot. A little over $2 where I live. Take care, guys.